Perry Pencil.
Hello everyone, welcome to Perry Pencil. I know it has been a while since I've done my last video. I'm excited to do today's episode, and today I'm going to be concentrating on the front or profile of the human head. Now let's begin. What I like to do is start off with dividing the page in half. So just draw a simple line from top to bottom. I'm going to go a little heavier here so you can see this. Alright, now that you see the line, I like to do that just so you know where the placement of the head is going to be on the page. Let's go ahead on and put a line, let's say about 1 inch or 2 down from the edge of the piece of paper here, and do the same for the bottom. Now, what I like to discuss is how the front becomes the side or profile, right? So the only thing you want to remember is that you're starting off, this is for those who actually knows how to draw the front of the head first, right? So let's go ahead and get our oval in. Alright, so I'm going to put an oval in, right? And one of the things you'll become familiar with Perry Pencil and on this channel is that be as loose as possible. Don't feel afraid to go a little dark or make too many mistakes. There's no perfect drawing. When you're sketching and learning, you want to start off as loose as possible, so that way you get a feel for knowing how to do it. As time moves along, you won't spend too much time erasing and covering up a lot of mistakes or going back over it 1,000 times. It's going to tire you out. So what I'm doing here is putting a line that divides the face in half, going across for where the eyes will be. This is typical stuff that I do with drawing the human head. So we got a line for where the nose will be, and right below that you want to put a line for the mouth, right? Okay, so now because we're doing the front meets the side, right? This is how you actually going to get the profile started, as if you're drawing the front of the head now, right? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put another line right on the edge of where the head is, right? Let's do that. Now from the front, you want to, or top rather, you want to take a line that's going to go around and curve right where the bottom of the nose is, right? So you want to see where I'm going with this pretty soon. So you're going to do like this. You want to bring a line and curve it around. I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. So as you follow along, we're going to keep this drawing very, very simple, not overcomplicated or overly complicated, excuse me. Now, if you see, it already looks like the side, right? Okay. Just to keep things flowing. Now, right off of where this line is that we put on the edge of the head, right, or the side of the head that now become the profile, you want to go ahead and in the center of that, you want to put a line here. Okay. Now, right here, you want to drop an ear right off the edge here. Okay, so what you're going to do is come off the side and bring that line around like this. If you notice, that's going to be where the ear's placement on the head. Okay, now when we did this curve here, this curve right here is the back of the skull. So only thing you're going to do is you're going to come down, right? You're going to drop a line just like this and then curve it off the edge of the page, right? Now we're going to go back and deal with the front meets the side. But this is all put in place so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like overall. Now you're going to start off as if you're going to draw a regular face. So you're going to put an eye socket here, right? And then what you want to do is you want to put the nose here. You want to actually come right where the eye is, right? You want to do one eye. You don't want to do two eyes, because then it's going to look like the front and side at the same time, and that's not what we're going for. You want to put a circle here for the eye, right? And then you want to put half of a nose right on the edge here. Okay, so it's like half a 7. We're going to do the 7. You ever draw a simple face? For those of you start out, you do the number 7. You want to do it upside down. Okay, so now you can already see the front and the side forming. Okay, so we have that placement. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and ordinarily where you would have the lips, you want to do the mouth like this, right? Almost like the person is talking, what has their mouth open, but we want to do a circle here. Now from here, we have the overall look of the side of the head, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the front profile. With the front profile, I'm going to go a little darker now. So for this part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and do this part darker so that you can see exactly what's going on here. So I'm going to put like the front brow. Okay, and then I'm going to drop the forehead in. Now here, feel free to go as dark as you want here, because what I'm doing now is I'm defining the front or the profile side of the head. And I'm going to drop the edge of the nose in here just like this. Okay, I'm going to come back under, and I'm going to come around like this. We're going to deal with the mouth now. So where I have half that mouth there, I'm going to go ahead and then drop the lip in. Now to be a little short here, I usually like to take a line and go just like this, right? Just to get an understanding of where I want the nose and the mouth to come in. So let's say I'll go ahead on, let me make a little adjustment here. Okay, I'm gonna come out exactly where I have the line, so it lines up with the nose. And it'll come back and then do the bottom of the lip here, just like this. Okay, now notice how the oval that I did originally for the skull comes around and drops here. That would be the front of the human head here. But what I want to do is play off of that, and you can follow along. And I'm going to take and put a line under the bottom lip and bring the chin out a little bit so it lines up a little bit. And now if you notice, I can go ahead and have this come around like this here for the bottom of the jaw. And then we can stop it right here. And I'm going to go ahead and then put like the neck in. The neck's going to of course go off the page like so. Now let's come back up to the eye. With the eye, we're going to come back a little bit. Okay, so you'll have it come about halfway. So just put a line right here, right? And then just have a simple line come around like this. I'm really doing simple shapes here. So those who are following the tutorial, I'm not trying to do anything complicated. I want you to get an understanding of how to do the side of the head. Okay, you want to do the same thing with the bottom part of the eye. Just drop a line in like this. Nothing spectacular, very simple stuff. All right, so now that we're up here, we want to just drop a line in like this, right? You can go ahead and shade that in, you know. Now for the eyebrow, we're going to come just a little bit forward, or forward period, and you know, create an eyebrow and let it come back, and do the same thing for the bottom, right? And then you want to come over like this, over the eye. I'm going to do a little bit of shading here to shade that eyebrow in, and you can already kind of see everything coming together. Okay, now once we've gotten that, I'm going to go ahead on and we want to add a little bit of detail to the nose here. So we're going to do the nostril. So I usually like to make a simple shape like this. Just kind of go up and around and arc it under. You can close that if you want to. And we're going to put the nostril in. It's just one nostril. Bring that nostril around like so. And drop that in. Okay. Now for the lips, you're going to kind of see the front and side at the same time. So you're going to dip down. You're going to come up, right? And you're going to come around again. Now the way I like to measure this is I like the nostril, the edge of the lip to come off of the edge of the nostril. Okay. And then you have the top part of the lip come down in between the bottom of the lip. Bring it around. And off of this tutorial, you can do whatever style you want, how you want the person to look. All of the principles are the same. You can do however you want it like whether it's a female, male, it all applies the same here. All right, so now we have the front part pretty much done. I'm gonna go ahead on and then come from the bottom of the ear. We're gonna play around with this part of the jaw. I just simply put a line down here. If you notice, I have the mouth line here. Right, you're just gonna drop that down a little bit and cut into where this would go rather. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna add like the jaw line here, and the chin goes here, and then you'll be able to go ahead and have this come back to the Adam's apple. Now for the back of the ear, we have what's called the sternum mastoid, or the muscle that extends from behind the ear. So you can go ahead and drop a line in and then bring it down like so. And then you could suggest another line here. It doesn't have to be pronounced. It doesn't have to be to the point where it's two lines connected. You can keep it as simple as you want. Now I'm going to go ahead and begin and put the detail into the hair. For the hair, I want him to have like straight backs, as they call it, or braids. So let's go ahead on and come right at the top here. Like, I usually put a line here for the hairline, that if it was frontal, it applies the same way for the side. So you're gonna come just behind where the eyebrow is. You're gonna drop a hairline in. I like this part. This part becomes very fun and creative because you get to put a style in of what you want the hair to look like off of the ear. And I want to go ahead on and just put a simple form to the head. I'm gonna kind of go a little rough, just be loose. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go right off the back of his head here, all the way around. And the point is just to get the overall look of how you want his hair to be. And I'm gonna finish his neck. I want to bulk his neck up just a little bit, give him a little bit of tone, like a little bit of muscle, like he works out a little bit. Okay, and then for the braids, you can let it kind of curl off the edge of his neck. Now, I'm gonna do the cleanup process so I can get rid of some of the lines, and this part will be sped up, and I'll get back to the drawing. Okay, I cleaned up as much as I could, and now let's go ahead and get back to refining everything and getting our detail in. Now for the ear, we want to come around and make that really stand out. Now you can cut that under the jawline just like that. And for here on this, you want to do the cartilage of the ear. I usually drop a simple line like this and come around, drop this particular shape. I don't have a name for it, but if you could follow along in the drawing, it will come together, trust me on that one. All right, so we got another line that comes this way, and as always suggest in my videos, feel free to pause it if you need to. If I'm going too quick and you need to see what's going on, feel free to go ahead and pause it and follow along that way. Now we'll go ahead on and I'm gonna darken the contour of his hair, which are going to be the braids or the straight backs or whatever you prefer to call it. All right. Now notice I'm very rough. I'm not trying to be perfect here. Now the next line is going to be a simple straight line like this, and this is pretty much going to be the shape of his head all the way around. Now we're going to do the next row. The next row is going to be the same thing. It's going to repeat. You want to do a kind of a pattern here, and as I said before, doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to get an idea of what braids will look like. Just playing around with some shapes. All right, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to have a line that recedes or goes across his head, right? Let that go right there. Then we're going to do braids on the side of the head. Same thing. And they're going to get smaller as it goes down near his ear. You can have it go behind the ear, hide it a little bit, and then just like that. Come around. And we'll do another row. Same thing. And then leave it at that. So we got 4 rows. Okay. So for this tutorial, just want to keep it simple, just to kind of get the point across, not trying to make a super project out of it, but I want to give the point, or rather show you the point of how to do this, the profile, front meets the side type thing. So after this, now what you want to do is you want to just put simple lines like this, right? Curve it. Okay. Remember, this is all practice. We're not going for perfection. We're going for understanding here on Perry pencil. Okay, it's just to get an understanding how to do the profile of the human head and to play around with you know, a braid style. You know, this guy's got the straight backs going on here. He's got his hair braided. Okay, and do the next row. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And notice I'm being very rough. Don't be too careful. That's my advice to you for this tutorial. Okay. Now I want to play around with, and the braid's done, as you can see here. And I'm gonna go back in and put the detail of his lips in. Shade that in a little bit, give it a little tone for you. Alright. And shade his nostril in a little bit for you. So at this point, I'm gonna add a little bit of detail. I want him to have a little bit of a scruffle, like, you know, he shaved, and this is a little fun thing to do. You can put some dots here. This is a technique called dithering. Okay, this is where you take the point of the pencil and you just add some dots. As I stated before, what I plan to do moving forward is I want to teach you how to draw. Again, I'm not going for a competition of, you know, what channel is better than the other channel, and, you know, I'm still may take requests and then fulfill those requests, but for right now, starting out, getting back into the flow of these videos, I want to answer the question. Okay, whatever question that may be. If you say, hey, you know, Perry pencil, how do you draw this, or how do you draw that, you know, let me know in the comment section. Don't be shy. I believe that I have what it takes to help you. Okay, so now that we got his mustache or goatee going on, all right, I'm gonna go ahead on and shade the braids in, and that'll be some final touches on this. Alright, that's going to do it for today's how to draw video with Perry pencil. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Let me know if you learned anything from this video, and let me know if you want to see more. Until next time, take care. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe by pressing this round button at the bottom. Also, click on one of the 2 top videos at the top. Please like this video, tell a friend, and share it on Facebook. Thank you. Perry Pencil.